Yesterday, the preview embargo for Pokémon Pokopia lifted, and the industry's response has been very, very positive. Outlets like IGN, Polygon, Video Games Chronicle and Game Informer, they all shared their hands-on impressions within hours of each other, and their reactions have been very similar. People are surprised, people are excited, and starting to think this could be more than just a quirky spin-off. Excitement is clearly growing as the launch approaches on March the 5th. Well, to understand why Pokémon Pokopia is generating such strong reactions, today I'm going to examine what the previews are saying, explore how this reception differs from recent Pokémon games, and we're going to consider whether Pokopia could rank among the franchise's most significant spin-offs in years. Well, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Also, before I dive in, I'm going to link the previews down there in the comments from IGN, Polygon, Video Games Chronicle, and also Game Informer. So, after you've watched this video, I definitely recommend you go over there and read those previews for yourself. Well, when Pokémon Pokopia was first announced, people had pretty mixed feelings. You know, a life sim about housing, decorating, and living with your Pokémon didn't really seem like an obvious hit. The series is known for gym battles and competition. This new direction felt very different, quite odd. You've got a human-like Ditto, very, very strange, and it's a post-apocalyptic Pokemon world. Very strange, but previews suggest this isn't a gimmick. It could be one of the best Pokemon spin-offs that we've seen in years. So instead of focusing on combat and progression, Pokopia is all about companionship and creativity. You're not travelling from region to region for badges, you're building a home with your Pokémon. You can design your house, shape your neighbourhood, and create routines that change over time. Several previews say it's deeper and more engaging than expected, and what looks like a simple side project actually has really complex systems underneath. This change from doubt to excitement is a really strong sign that Pokémon Pokopia could be something really special. Well, a common theme in the previews is the world's liveliness. Pokémon don't just repeat the same animations in the background, they move around with purpose, reacting to furniture, the environment, the time of day. Outlets highlight the moments when Pokémon interact with objects or explore areas that fit their personalities, making them feel like real companions rather than just collectible monsters. Pokémon games have struggled with immersion for years. The creatures themselves are iconic, but their worlds often feel stiff or quite scripted. If Pokopia can make Pokémon seem like they've got real behaviours, even within set systems, it is a huge step forward. And the preview suggests that the developers focused on making Pokémon act naturally, and this could make the game feel more emotionally engaging. Well, at first, Pokopia's customization looks like a typical life sim. You place your furniture, change your wallpaper, and decorate however you like. Several previews point out that these choices aren't just for looks. Some Pokemon react differently based on their surroundings. Certain species do better in open spaces, and others like enclosed or themed rooms, and small little details in the environment affect their behaviour. And that dynamic transforms customization from decoration into game strategy. Instead of simply designing a house that looks good, players are encouraged to think about functionality. It becomes less about the personal expression alone, and more about creating spaces that nurture specific Pokemon personalities. This adds a layer of experimentation that could sustain long-term engagement. So when optimization is framed around care and environmental harmony rather than combat stats, this is going to offer a fresh form of progress to Pokemon fans, and it also still taps into the franchise's core appeal. Another thing that often came up in the previews is how stable the game runs on the Switch too. Recent Pokemon games have faced criticism for issues like inconsistent frame rates or graphic pop-in or long loading times, but several previews noted that Pokopia delivered a stable experience during their play sessions. Frame rates remained steady without dips, load times were short, and the visual presentation appeared consistent throughout the demo, and that is going to be really, really good news to long-time Pokemon fans. Some of those games on Nintendo Switch ran very, very bad, like a dog in treacle. The visual style leans into vibrant colour palettes. Game uses bright colours and expressive animation instead of aiming for super realistic graphics. So it is Game Freak after all, it is a choice. Rather than pushing for high-end visuals that might hurt performance, Pokopia goes for a style that fits the life sim feel. So if the game is this consistent at launch, it really could help rebuild trust in the franchise's quality. The language used across all the outlets conveys genuine surprise. Writers openly admit they weren't sure what to expect when they were going in, but they left impressed by the experience's cohesion. That shift from uncertainty to endorsement is really, really good news for Pokemon fans. Preview cycles often contain cautious optimism or carefully worded praise, but here, the enthusiasm feels less restrained. Of course, this does not guarantee long-term success. Preview sessions are carefully set up. Still, different outlets praise the same things: the building, the interacting, optimizing, and bonding. This suggests the main gameplay is fun, even in a short demo, with loads of people saying they just wanted to continue playing. So if the game's basics work well early on, it's usually a really good sign for the whole game. And one of the most interesting ideas out of the previews is the role Pokopia could have in the larger Pokemon world. Main games focus on competition and story. This one could be something else. This one clearly is a comfort game. This one clearly is a cozy game. It might be the kind of game that players come back to between big releases, and it definitely offers a relaxing space where you can let off some steam with your Pokemon. If the game adds more Pokemon, seasonal events, or community features after launch, Pokemon Pokopia could become a long-term platform instead of a one-time spin-off. And this kind of ongoing support could help the franchise balance intense gameplay with also more accessible options. It definitely isn't going to replace the main Pokemon games, it just adds something new to go alongside them. Well, before the preview embargo lifted, March the 5th was simply another release date, but now it feels like a significant date indeed. Momentum in the final weeks before launch is critical. Right now the conversation about Pokopia is very optimistic, it's curious, it's hopeful. That combination should be really good for the game, especially given it initially faced skepticism. If the final game matches what these previews saw, realistic Pokemon behaviour, deep customization, stable performance, and emotional impact, Pokemon Pokopia might do more than just sell well. It could change expectations from what people want from a Pokemon spin-off. So that is why this preview roundup matters. It doesn't confirm success, but it does suggest for the first time in a while, Pokemon might be evolving in an unexpected and genuinely exciting direction. Well, let me know in the comments if you're excited for Pokemon Pokopia. I was certainly lukewarm going into this preview season, but now I'm really excited seeing what came out of the previews, and I've pre-ordered the game and I can't wait to get it on March the 5th. That is it for this video today about Pokemon Pokopia, and thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Thanks again, and I'll see you real soon.